Hello, Homestead. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please stay standing for a moment of silence.
Coming up today on HHS In Depth, the spring musical is back and you'll get a full in-depth look at this year's show and the cast.
Along with a story over how the AI generation is officially here and why we should embrace the new tool instead of being against it.
Plus, in sports, regular seasons are coming to a close. I'll get you caught up a little later on in Down to the Wire.
Those stories and more coming to you today, only on HHS In Depth.
From Homestead Media, this is HHS In Depth.
Hello, Homestead. I'm Noah Johannesmeyer.
And I'm Joel McChesney. Welcome to another episode of HHS In Depth. And Noah, last night at Homestead, the annual spring musical made its debut.
And with another showing tonight and two more tomorrow, here is HHS In Depth reporter Megan Kelly to give you a look at this year's show.
As the spring fine arts season winds down, there's still one more event left on the calendar, the spring musical. This year, Homestead High School presents Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat.
This colorful musical follows the story of Joseph, Jacob's favorite of his 12 sons, as he overcomes adversity and climbs to the top.
For this production, we are getting a couple props from other schools and theaters. Right now, we are currently working on getting a goat on a skateboard from the Civic Theater, and possibly the backdrop curtain. And the Civic has always been so great at lending stuff to other theaters for productions, and we are so thankful for them for everything that they've lended for all of our past shows.
So the children's choir in the musical will be 40 students, approximately 40 students from Covington Elementary and from Lafayette Meadows Elementary. Several years ago we did Rodgers and Hammerstein's Cinderella, and we used some of the elementary schools from around the district for that as well, because we needed children for townspeople. So doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, it requires a children's chorus, so I decided to reach out to the elementary schools, and it was a fun collaboration last time, and we're looking forward to it again. This musical is pretty special to me because it was my first community theater production that I was in at the Civic Theater downtown, and I've been in it 3 different times. I just love the music, and it's always had a special place in my heart.
My favorite part of the musical would have to be Song of the King and Benjamin Calypso, because they're just so funny that I'm trying not to crack up backstage.
My favorite scene would definitely have to be Grovel Grovel, just because I get to be like nasty, I get to just like be vindictive, and that's sort of fun when you're like smiling the whole time, you know? I've just always enjoyed theater so much, and being here with everybody, like rehearsing our favorite songs, our favorite choreography. It's really heartwarming, it really builds relationships, and that's part of why I love theater so much. I would just like to add, just come see the show. It'll be so fun. This is probably going to be the last show at this auditorium, so just come see it, bring your friends.
Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat will have 3 more performances, including one tonight at 7 p.m. and 2 more tomorrow. Come see this fun-filled show, and make sure to get a commemorative t-shirt as well. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Megan Kelly.
Come see Joseph.
With the warm days we have had over the past week, it looks like the spring and summer temperatures are finally here to stay. But does that mean the weather will actually be good? I'll return later to let you know.
Hey seniors, Senior Sunrise will take place on May 19th at 6 a.m. in the Homestead parking lot. Gather up with some friends and enjoy the sunrise.
Welcome back to HHS In Depth.
If you are interested in joining the 2023 Girls Cross Country Team, a mandatory call-out meeting will occur Thursday, May 18th in room 950B, Miss Barron's classroom. Coach Wiss will share important information about the program and distribute the summer running calendar. If you have any questions, contact Coach Wiss or Coach Barron's.
Auditions for Homestead's Fall Color Guard are next week, Monday, May 15th through Thursday, May 18th, from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. in the Freshman Academy Gym. Enter door 26. No experience is necessary, and audition routines will be taught Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, with the formal audition on Thursday. Contact the email address below with any questions or scheduling conflicts.
Get ready for the future. The past year, AI has been making itself more obvious in everyday life. From the AI chatbot ChatGPT to the AI art trend popping up all over TikTok and Instagram, there seem to be no strangers when it comes to AI. HHS In Depth reporter Michelle Obioma is in now to explain how we can look at AI as a tool rather than a foe.
Artificial intelligence, or AI, has been making waves. From self-driving cars to virtual personal assistants, it seems that AI is everywhere. With all the buzz surrounding this technology, there are also a lot of myths and misconceptions floating around.
Initially, when I saw what ChatGPT could do, I had this existential crisis of, so screenwriting's done. Those worries are well-founded, but I think one thing that people may forget is that artificial intelligence, at least in the private sector, has been around for quite a while. For the average person, I think it'll just make day-to-day busy work, office work, schoolwork even, hopefully more efficient.
As AI's reach widens, some students have utilized the resource for assignment brainstorming.
At first I thought it was too far-fetched and that it was going to die in a month, but now I kind of realize that this is only the beginning of it. So with AI, especially ChatGPT, I've used it here and then just for either inspiration or actually using it for my assignments. Me and my classmates joke about it oh, I'll just write this with ChatGPT, but honestly, I don't really hear many people either saying they're using it or talking about it in general.
Although many teachers are hesitant to think about using AI in a classroom environment, it can be used as a great jumping-off point for students.
I wasn't around when the Gutenberg press was invented, but I can imagine scribes at that time were probably anxious about, will this replace our job? Should we use it? And I think AI is here to stay. It's tough because there is a question of a temptation to cheat. But I've tried to encourage students that don't look at this as something to be fearful of. Look at it as new opportunities that were never available before. If a student chooses to use ChatGPT for any assignment, I ask them to take screenshots. It better give me an understanding of how they use the machine so that I can better learn how to incorporate that into a future class.
Professor Reid stresses that with any other technology, AI can be used for bad or for good.
Personally, I believe you can't replace the human spark. I think with AI, people will probably come around to see that, oh, this isn't the end of the world, at least not yet. It's just something that could be used to give us more time to do the things we really want to do instead of writing emails, so to speak.
Despite the hype and misinformation surrounding AI, it's clear that this technology is here to stay. By understanding what AI can and cannot do, we can work to harness its potential while avoiding unrealistic expectations. And for my open and close, they were actually written by AI. That's right, the very same technology we just talked about. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Michelle Obioma.
Thanks, Michelle. As you already know, scheduling for next year has begun. But are you still curious about all of the other options available to students? Reporter Emily Adams brings you a story over the benefits and differences between AP and dual credit classes.
When considering all the factors that impact your academic career, there are many things to keep in mind when choosing your schedule for next year. Luckily, there are many AP and dual credit opportunities available to students.
At Homestead, we have a lot of opportunities for students to challenge themselves both with dual credit and AP. 16 AP courses, over 50 dual credit opportunities, and both are going to be great college preparatory options. So AP stands for Advanced Placement, and that curriculum is through College Board. With AP, you are taking the course, and then the intent of that course is to be prepared for the AP Advanced Placement exam in May. So dual credit essentially is you're earning dual credits simultaneously, both high school and college credit for a course. As long as you complete the course successfully with a C- or higher, you will have that credit.
Both of these options have numerous benefits, but slight variations in difficulty and transferability.
AP does offer a 1-point GPA bump, whereas dual credit offers a half-point GPA bump. A lot of times AP may be a bit more rigorous. As far as transferability, there can be a few differences there.
While the variety of options is incredible, an unfortunate byproduct is a range of criteria for dual credit courses. For Ivy Tech, juniors and seniors must have a 2.6 GPA or higher for most classes, excluding math-based courses, which require a sufficient PSAT score. However, if none of your scores qualify, a passing knowledge assessment will work for underclassmen as well as upperclassmen. For PFW, you must have a 2.8 GPA or higher, and for IU Advanced College Project, there is a 2.7 GPA requirement. However, AP courses are a bit different as there are not any score requirements, but there can be some prerequisites that may need to be taken prior to the AP class.
Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. If you think at all you might be interested in dual credit or AP, it's worth a conversation. I would encourage you to check out our website. Under guidance, there is all kinds of details and information about the dual credits and AP courses that we offer. This is the time to try that, right? While you have the support and the guidance of Homestead High School staff and your family at home.
While understanding your limits is important, taking a challenging class can be a refreshing way to continue pursuing post-secondary opportunities. If you're interested in taking an AP or dual credit class next year, make sure you talk to your counselor before the June 7th deadline. For HHS In Depth, I'm Emily Adams.
Thanks, Emily. During your high school career, most students attempt to get their first after-school job, but some don't know how and where to start looking. In now is HHS In Depth reporter Jaron Ellis with some tips for those summer job seekers.
With summer break quickly approaching, it can be a great opportunity to start looking for a summer job or even your first job. If you find yourself stuck on where to start looking for a job or how to win over a job interview, here are some tips that can help.
A perfect place to start looking for a job is the bulletin board outside the cafeteria. This board has multiple listings for jobs around the city of Fort Wayne. The board consists of giving job responsibilities, hourly pay, and where to apply. If any of the jobs on the board don't interest you, another place to look is online on Indeed. There you can do an in-depth search for jobs you are interested in. Once you apply for a job, don't panic if you don't hear a call back from the employer immediately. After 3 to 5 business days have passed, you can contact the employer by giving the manager a formal call. Hopefully then the employer will invite you for an interview.
While job interviews can seem nerve-wracking at first, there are a few ways to make the process go smoothly.
Here are a few tips that can help you succeed in your job interview. Research the job ahead of time. Knowing some basic knowledge about the job can only be beneficial. Knowing some things about the business and what they're expecting of you can impress the employer. Dress formally. As they always say, dress to impress. Look nice for your job interview. Your physical presence is very important. Have confidence. A job interview can be overwhelming, but try to keep a professional composure. The employer is simply trying to find the best person for the job, not trying to judge you. Just relax and make sure the employer knows all of the great skills you have as you are trying to earn the job. Be prepared. Make sure to show up to your job interview on time. Timeliness is important, and not showing up on time can put a bad impression on yourself. Have integrity. When the employer asks you questions about yourself, speak with honesty. If you are yourself and show off your strengths, employers will more likely see you as a good fit.
I hope if you are looking for a job this summer, you will find one that will become enjoyable and will also teach you some good life skills. Reporting for HHS In Depth, I'm Jaron Ellis.
Thanks, Jaron. Well, we finally had a week that felt May-like out there, but will it continue into this weekend?
Graham DeWitt joins us now to give us that answer.
Thanks, Joel and Noah. Unfortunately, despite the temperature going up to 69 today, it looks like we're going to see today's rain continue into the night. There isn't much to do other than stay inside and wait for it to clear up. Sadly, it does not look like that will be happening until next morning. We'll see a break from the rain on Saturday, with the sky being cloudy and up to 75 degrees. But Sunday will consist of on and off showers throughout the day, only topping out at 68. It might be best just to take this weekend to relax and prepare yourself mentally for the rest of the school year. So can we expect next week to be any better, or will we continue to see more precipitation? I'll be back with that answer in a few minutes.
Thanks, Graham. Next, in Down to the Wire, Anthony will get us caught up with Spartan athletics over last week.
Stick around, you're watching HHS In Depth.
Hello, Homestead. Here's this week's Club Roundup. K-Pop Club will be meeting today in room 924. Ping Pong Club will be meeting today in the cafeteria. Environmental Club will be meeting Monday in room 206. Students for Life will be meeting Tuesday in room 503. Finance and Invest Club will be meeting Thursday, room 529. Minority Student Union will be meeting Friday in room 611. To get up-to-the-minute club updates and additional information, please check out the HHS announcements page on Canvas.
Welcome back to Down to the Wire. I'm Anthony Gary. The postseason is right around the corner for all of our spring sports. But first, the end of the regular season. The baseball team is playing well right now with a win over Northrop Saturday and a win versus Carroll Wednesday. In both games, junior Mason Weaver was dealing. On Saturday, Mason pitched 6 innings of a combined no-hitter with sophomore Luke Nysonger finishing the job in the 7th. Then in the second game versus Carroll, Mason was on the mound again as he pitched a complete game shutout versus the Chargers. On the offensive side of the Carroll game, Logan Tuttle was on fire with 2 hits and 3 RBI. Homestead will play at Lake Central tonight. The girls tennis team beat Huntington North Wednesday 4-1. In singles, Layla Kelly won 2-0 and Caroline Stock won 2-0. Then in doubles, Zitlaw and Fry won 2-0 and Schilt and Paulick won 2-1. The girls will play tomorrow at North Central. The softball team beat Carroll 2-1 last Tuesday. Ava Mejia pitched a complete game with 9 strikeouts and only 4 hits allowed. Libby Minobi was perfect at the plate and even ended up scoring the winning run that was hit by a double from Kira Vorpal. Senior night for the girls will be Monday, May 15th at home versus Woodland. We had one big college signing this week, with Kyron Kapowicki signing to play at UIndy. Kapowicki was an important piece to the basketball team this year and is ready to take his 3-point shooting to the next level. Congratulations, Kyron. Tomorrow is the first ever sectionals for the boys volleyball team. They play at 10 a.m. tomorrow, and if they win game 1, they'll play for the championship at 2:30. Good luck, boys. That'll do it for this week's edition of Down to the Wire. Thank you for watching, and Graham will have a final check of the weather when we return.
Next week on HHS In Depth, reporter Jaron Ellis interviews seniors to give advice for the lower classmen. Catch this story and more next week.
After the gloomy weekend, we can put that weather behind us for now, as we will see a mix of partly cloudy and sunny skies throughout the week. Monday and Tuesday look to be the best, as we'll see both days reach into the 70s. Wednesday and Thursday's temperatures will drop down slightly, but it won't make too much of a difference. Be prepared to get through these last couple of weeks, as this weather is a precursor to the upcoming summer. Joel, Noah, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Graham, and thank you for watching today.
Good luck to all of our Homestead athletes and other performers in action this weekend.
Want to catch up with HHS In Depth beyond our news show? Check out our Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Homestead Media for updates, recaps, and other short stories around the school.
Have a great weekend, and we will see you back here again next week.